Today is January 8th, 2024. I told you in the video that I'm already uploading, yesterday was horrible. Absolutely horrible. People all heard Eric's last week. What was it, on Thursday? What was it, the 3rd or 4th of January? Screaming out, "Oh my God, it's all my fault. All this is my fault. They told me what happened. My God, I am so sorry about everything. Everything's my fault. I am so sorry." And you could hear it crackling in his voice, him screaming like he's crying and gagging on his tears. I heard they even took Dave. None of this is funny. My God, I'm so sorry. I have to find a way to fix it. He's screaming down the street from my clients on that run. And then he left the silver car from Ravenna. They said it was Eric yesterday in Walmart on the Strip. By the ladies' clothes, some guy was on the phone. And we all heard Eric repent and confess, yes, the other day. Outside Karen's, well, you don't have to keep saying anything. We all heard that guy repent and confess. Well, he mocked everybody the year before. Then he realized what happened. See, like the police even that watch me, why are they making all that stuff up on her? Why they do all that stuff? Well, their family support. Everybody's trying to help, but because that family has nothing. They have absolutely nothing. Everybody feels bad for them. See, that was their pawn to get everybody to work. I told you in the last video, this trap is actually for FBI agent Will and John. See, that's where they told me, no matter what, always do the right thing. He's watching. He's going to get you. See, what they did to trick me out of their house, because Dave was dating Michelle for over a year. If you look back from where that guy showed up and said weird stuff to me in Perry Township, that was one of Michelle's family friends, where the money disappeared from the safe. He was already dating her when we lived in Perry and Mass. He should have been honest and came to me and divorced me there. And the only thing that would be different is Dave may be dead now over this. He'd be alive. He probably, if this wouldn't have blew up so big with them being together almost a year, they probably would have been married. My kids would have both parents and grandparents, and the only thing is we would have been doing co-grandparenting and co-parenting. And he would have still had to pay alimony and da-da-da, and she probably would have married him. Honesty goes a long way in doing the right thing. And I forgive Eric and Pete and Michelle and Steve. I greatly appreciate Eric apologizing. I and Michelle last year, September 3rd, 23, outside Kohl's told everybody to leave me alone. They already confessed that they photoshopped everything. My client in North Canton, behind his apartment, she was out there telling everybody I was a really nice lady, and the worst thing I ever did wrong was bend over improperly, and they only made fun of the back of my knees, and you can't list somebody a child molester for that. And they made everything else up on me, and everything was them, and nobody used to say a word to me. She was walking around telling people that. And that shows integrity, Michelle. And Eric. I appreciate that. It's doing the right thing. That's where that serial killer's back. Nobody will do the right thing. They did. I want the FBI. They were so poor, they were so desperate to get stuff. They thought they had to pull such a mean stunt, and I don't want them punished for it. I forgive them. I want them to protect them. He will come back and kill them. Because, like last night when I was doing the statement, somebody drove by and said, oh boy, if they could give us all that stuff, I'd tell who gave him the money. See, what Will should have done, he looked up Pete's finances. He didn't have money to pay him off. He should have got him away from Dave and said, who gave you this money? And you just confessed to life in federal. You can either work for me and I'll make you an informant, or I'll put you in the witness protection program. Who gave you the money? And who's blackmailing you? to come in here and risk going to jail. I want him. Because he thinks I'm stupid enough to take it. Now you tell me who it is. I want him for them to tell who gave them the money. Because it may not be that person, but it's going to be linked back to him. And I want him to get Pete, Michelle, Steve, and Eric out of here. I don't care if you put them together and put them somewhere else. Give them the housing, the living expenses, the $60,000 a year, the witness protection program. Dear God, he's a serial killer. He's blackmailing people. He dismembers people. He thinks it's funny killing people. Get it out of him. Who gave them the money and get them out of here? I want my money. Like some lady said, if Will actually makes this right, they all live. Get my money, get me a new name, and get me out of here. They can't ask you to stay quiet. See, that's where the whole thing of it is. In my unique case, Will already confesses on a recorded line that he talked to the Vegas, the church people, and made fun of me for some guy named Pete framing me and how I didn't know, and I found out it was Dave's girlfriend's dad and drug friends. He even confessed that it was some guy named Pete and how I didn't know. Okay? And Dave told Danny he hired Pete on his own, his girlfriend's dad at the time. See, they should have been arrested the first day. Well, honestly, you should have got him away from Dave and threatened him and flipped him and got who that guy was. He's after you. He wants you to take the fall for this. But if you do not do the right thing, you don't do the right thing, and you don't have integrity, where he calls you a thief and an idiot, huh? That you're stealing from victims and taking payoffs, and you really are this dirty, where the police and the marshals use the case and got a fentanyl king, a guy impersonating a guy, Prince from Africa, scamming people out almost $1 million, over 800 human traffickers and drug traders, and then it goes into even 1,000, because once you go back, they go back and get another 180, 130 that were all wrapped up in this. They got thousands off this case. I had over 200 around me at one time harassing me. Now, I want you to think about that. It was that big a case. Like, people showed up here in Hartville, and they were following me around like a month ago. We all know it was a nationwide human trafficking scam. See, on a recorded line, Will already admitted that he spoke to the Vegas, the church people, and made fun of me for some guy named Pete, that how I didn't know. He was already seen at Apostolic Church of Barberton with my ex-husband and telling 300 to 500 people that I called the FBI. The police already documented he told on me before I called him back. Okay? There was no staying quiet, and they can't ask you to stay quiet. I've talked to a criminal attorney, the police department, and the several police departments, and the prosecutor's office, someone from there, that they can't. A criminal attorney, he's just a higher officer, police officer. He doesn't have the authority to ask you to stay quiet about anything. It was only bullying you, and I tell him how he confessed he talked to everyone. He said it doesn't matter. He's only a higher police officer. Takes a sitting judge, freedom of speech, put a gag order on you on sequester grand jury. Last year, an agent tried to pull it with an informant, and the press was calling them for to shut him down. That they are only law enforcement. They don't have the authority. No, they don't. Even a criminal attorney said that. Yesterday, we're on September 22nd, 23. I was doing a video outside Walmart 62, and they're laughing and cackling in the background that Will was going to lie for him. And he was going to say that he was in my home before, and they worked it all out with him. I sent it in to the Department of Justice, CIA, Director of National Intelligence. Well, you want to go there? In the White House, of them confessing that you were going to lie for him. And they all know you don't have that kind of authority to ask me to stay quiet. And then on a recorded line, you already confessed you talked to everyone. Now that guy thinks you have no integrity. You can turn, you know how much power he has over you, Will, for taking that bribe? As much as you give him. You know how much blackmailers get? As much as you give them. You look at them, you stand up to them, that they're nothing but bullies. That you did it to get the fentanyl king, you did it to get him, and da-da-da-da. You can flip it on him at any time. And you need to, and you need to give me my money, and you need to get me out of here. You need to do the same thing for Pete, Michelle, Steve, and Eric. And housing, living, expenses, everything else that goes with it. Dear God, the government's doing it for illegal immigrants coming across the border that we owe nothing to, and I risk my life. I got a dented in the skull. I have a damaged rib cage, damaged intestines. I've been human trafficked. I've been tortured. I've been almost shot. I've been stalked. I was almost murdered for them to get all those bad guys. I earned my money, and like some lady said, they only offered her $5,000 for all this. It was supposed to be for Dave and the churches. I didn't know about all these terrorists. They kind of sort of left it out. And like they said, Will already knew it was just a bet between the two drug lords fighting over this area. They used Pete's pawn and blackmailed him to go in there and confess and then pay off that agent. The trap was for those agents to take it. How do you beat the serial killer like they told me in Ravenna? You do the right thing. No matter what, you do the right thing. Get me and those people out here and save their lives. Everybody go online and report this. He is banking the serial killer that nobody will do the right thing. That's how you stop him, is everybody do the right thing. Will can either do the right thing or he needs arrested. I'm going to upload this.